Hello, my fellow researchers. It is a great pleasure to present Credit Cooperatives in Brazil, published in the International Journal of Science and Research in October 2018, Volume 7, Issue 10, by Dr. Murilo de Oliveira Dias, myself, and Dr. Murilo Ramos Alambert Rodrigues, my colleague at Fundação Getúlio Vargas, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Well, in this article, we investigated the credit cooperatives in Brazil, the activities of credit cooperatives in Brazil, which is the unit of analysis. And the first cooperative in Brazil was founded in 1902 at Nova Petrópolis, Rio Grande do Sul, southern Brazil, called Caixa Econômica de Empréstimos Armstad Savings and Loans Bank. Theodore Armstad was a Swiss priest that came to Brazil to found the first credit cooperative, which is still in force, renamed to Sicredi Pioneira. Sicredi is one of the largest credit cooperatives in Brazil. All right, this article is limited to the Brazilian cooperative laws, 5,764 from December 1971. Note, observe that the law of cooperatives is quite recent in terms of cooperative activities in Brazil. In comparison to other countries, in France and in Germany, for instance, cooperatives work since the 19th century. And the name cooperative comes from Latin. Co means together and operative means working together, which is a completely different sort of association. For instance, in a cooperative, the decision-making process is much more democratic, in which any associate has the right of one vote. In a bank, for instance, an organization which is profit-driven, the power is directly related to the number of shares, for instance. All right. This article also abides by the ILO Resolution 193, which is International Labour Organization recommendation for the cooperatives' activities worldwide, that Brazilian is also signatory and abiding by this recommendation. Well, observe that in 2018 there were 13 types of cooperatives acting according to the Organização das Cooperativas do Brasil, the Brazilian Organization of Cooperatives, right? Consumption, credit, farming, special, housing, infrastructure, mineral production, health, labor, transportation, education, and tourism and leisure. In April 2019, however, and just to update you, the Organização das Cooperativas do Brasil decided to shorten the number, to reduce the number of types of cooperatives to 4, just to give more voice to the less representative sectors or segments or types. Therefore, the credit cooperatives, the credit ones, they were kept intact because they are one of the, together with agricultural cooperatives, they are the most representative within the sectors, right? Well, Crédit Agricole in France is the largest cooperative in the world in revenues, in number of associates, number of employees, for instance. But in Brazil, there are currently near 6,655 cooperatives acting in Brazil. The cooperative system is organized in this fashion. There is here the OCB system, the Organização de Cooperativas do Brasil, which in turn is compiled by the OCB, which is the political and institutional representation, the CESCUP, which is the Management Skills Improvement and Education branch, and the CNCUP, which is the union representation. That's the way the OCB is organized in Brazil. Well, there are the facts from 2018 were this: 6,655 cooperatives active in Brazil, gathering 13 million associates in Brazil, employing near 400,000 people in Brazil. Cicobi, ViaCred, Cicobi, Sicredi are the top 5 credit cooperatives in the country. All right. Observing this graphic, figure 8, how the credit cooperatives activities are increasing in Brazil. One important fact to update you is that in 10% of the 5,950 municipalities in Brazil, there are only cooperatives instead of banks. 10% of the Brazilian municipalities are attended exclusively by credit cooperatives. There are no banks. Sometimes populations of 3,000, 10,000 inhabitants, the banks, they don't feel that profitable to go and to install an agency or something that, but the credit cooperatives do. They are much closer to the countrymen than banks, for instance, in the whole country. All right. Well, we jump to the discussion and to present you the critical success factors for the cooperative activity in Brazil. First of all, the model of cooperativism and philosophy, which embraces equal vote and participation, voluntarism, self-help, shared responsibility, interest for the community, democratic decision-making process, are critical success factors for the cooperative working in the country successfully. Then, government support and efficient organization. The cooperatives in Brazil are protected by Federal Constitution 1988 and Law 5746 from December 1971. Brazilian Central Bank also protects the credit cooperative system through the adoption of special fund, FGCOOP, responsible for the recovery of deposits of credits held in credit cooperatives. Also, tax and duties exemptions are issued by Brazilian federal government, for instance, PIS, COFINS, and Contribuição Social sobre Lucro Líquido, which is a duty, CSLL. The credit cooperatives, they are exempt. They just don't collect from the associates because the Brazilian government does not oblige cooperatives to pay it. Therefore, it results in less bank charges to the associate member operations. It's much cheaper to be part of a credit cooperative than a bank, for instance. And the banks complain because the credit cooperatives, they are much protected. They receive a lot of incentives and protection from the government, and they are competing with a solid advantage upon us. That's the major complaint in Brazilian banks. The credit cooperatives are the only financial institutions to almost 10% of Brazilian municipalities, as mentioned before, and the Organização das Cooperativas do Brasil plays a fundamental part in representing the overall interests regarding the cooperative activities in the country. Well, I would like to say thank you to your patience, to your patience to be here with us today in the representation and the presentation of this article, which is available at the International Journal of Science and Research website, volume 7, issue 10 from October 2018. Thank you so much, and thank you as well to the International Journal of Science and Research for this opportunity and for your time. See you next video, see you next time in next articles. Bye bye.